So the last one that I recorded didn't actually have the video, so I was using my phone. This first one with the camera.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was I got it set up, pressed record, and I actually like kicked the tripod whenever I was coming around. And so what ended up happening was we get done shooting a 35 minute podcast. Get to the end of it. I walked around there to cut it off and it starts recording. I look and I had 3 seconds.
Oh my God.
I had to record the podcast with the mayor twice because the first time we had no audio. So anyways, I invested in a camera. Hey guys, welcome to the Made in Semmes podcast, the place where we interview people that were made in Semmes, make things in Semmes, and helps us make Semmes who it is today. I'm your host, Kenneth Havens, and today we're here with the first ever Police Chief of Semmes, Mr. Todd Friend. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I appreciate you agreeing to be on the podcast with me today.
You're very welcome.
So I don't know how many know. Most of Semmes, I'm assuming, but we have a police chief, and we literally just made history. I know the mayor does a really good job of painting this beautiful picture of what his mission and vision was for the community, or is for the community, and a lot of times when the stuff actually starts happening, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal because of he's done a really good job painting the picture, but there's a lot of work that goes into what you guys are doing right now.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm blessed to be a part of that picture. Very fortunate. So, yeah, this is a big deal. A lot of people may not realize it, but it's a big deal.
This is a big deal. We are making history in Semmes, Alabama.
Absolutely.
I'm really pumped up about it. Again, thank you so much for being on here. Today is really the first time that me and you have had the opportunity to formally meet. We've met, I guess, maybe twice before, one at the planning commission and one the other day when we were setting this thing up. So a lot of the questions that I have for you today are questions that I have for you, as well as, information for the podcast. So if you will, tell me a little bit about who is Todd Friend?
Well, I'm born and raised in Leeds, Alabama, just outside of Birmingham, and graduated high school, went to college at Jacksonville State University, where I met my wife. She's from Mobile. So after we graduated, I went through a police academy at Jacksonville State, and we moved down to Mobile in '94, got married, and been here ever since.
I gotcha. Well, cool. So you weren't necessarily made in Semmes, but you're definitely making Semmes what it is today.
I want to make Semmes better. Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. So becoming a police chief of Semmes, Alabama, I know that's got a lot of weight that comes on your shoulders. Like, as of right now, there's no police cars, there's no police station, there's no police anything. There's just police you. Like, you were the number one policeman. And so I know that has a lot of weight that sits on your shoulders to build the program and that type of thing. But how do you go about becoming the police chief of Semmes? Do you wake up, drive, chase people around on a Hot Wheel and pretend to arrest people? Has it been a lifelong dream as a kid, or how did that evolve and how did you get here?
Yeah, I'm not one of those that played with the police cars and dreamt of being a cop, and my dad worked in a bank, and my mom did other odd things around, and
right.
So I'm not that guy that grew up wanting to be a cop.
Right.
The small town that I grew up in, we got to know the police officers well, especially when we got stopped.
Right.
But it really didn't trigger for me until I was in college, and one of my best friends talked me into taking a criminal justice class, and from that point on, I fell in love with the whole profession, and I guess it helped the woman that I met and ended up marrying. Her dad was a police officer, so so I guess that was a big nudge for me.
Yeah.
To get into the profession, and I got into it in June of '94 at the University of South Alabama. It's where I started, and went to Mobile Police Department right after that, and then into the sheriff's office in January of '99, and then of course here, a couple of weeks ago, and so it's been It's been a ride.
It sounds like it.
I never dreamed of being in this position in my life or in my career. I never thought about it until a couple of years ago, really. I applied for another police chief position thinking that that's the direction I really want to move in. And of course, here the position in Semmes opened up, and that's something I really wanted.
That's awesome. So throughout your entire career, who would you say has been your biggest supporter?
My wife. She grew up, like I said, with her dad being a police officer, so she knew about the shift work.
That's right.
She knew about the extra jobs and being gone from home on birthdays and holidays and and all that kind of stuff. So she got it.
Right.
So when I would work a 12-hour shift or ended up working 24 hours,
right, or
working a case where she didn't see me for 2 days. She knew, she understood, she got it.
Right.
So that she's been my biggest supporter, my biggest my biggest rock that I could lean on.
That's awesome. I was not able to attend the ceremony where you were able to get sworn in, but I did watch it on the live stream, and I thought that was awesome to see your family standing there. I think that's really important because I feel like what a lot of people miss out on when you're in a profession as you are. People that's in the military, armed forces, it's not just the decision of the husband or of the wife. It's a team. It's a team effort.
Right.
You might be the one that's putting on the uniform, that's going into work every day, but she's the one that's keeping everything solid.
Exactly.
And so that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. So I know growing up, you mentioned like being stopped in a small town. I'm sure you've heard some really crazy stories of being stopped, like when you're stopping other people. I remember one of the times they got pulled over and had to say like a bunch of prayers and Hail Marys to like for the Lord to forgive me. But I was on the Bayway. There was a state trooper that got behind me, and he followed me all the way across the Bayway, and he did not pull me over until we got in Saraland. And when he finally pulled me over, like, I have CDLs. I own A1 McDuffie Sanitation, and this was well before I started driving the garbage truck, so don't hold this against me. But I had my CDLs, and I was like, I can't afford another ticket. The guy pulls me over, and I'm like, sir, please. I've got like 8 kids at home, and like I'm trying to afford Christmas, and it was like in July. He let me go. I'm sure you've heard some really crazy stories of people trying to get out of tickets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. From kids screaming in the back to, I've got to use the bathroom really bad. I'm about to throw up. Whatever the case may be. There's about 1,000 excuses that have come across over the years. So
that's right.
Some really good stuff.
So if you don't mind, will you share? So obviously there's a mission and vision in Semmes, and I know that you're coming alongside the team that's already here to help make that happen. Can you share with me a little bit about the mission and vision of the police department for Semmes?
The mission and the vision that I have for Semmes for their new police department is basically having a working relationship with the community and the business leaders. To me, that's a very, very important thing to have, especially in a small town like Semmes, is we have to look out for each other.
Right.
And I know I'm not going to get cooperation from everybody.
Right.
But if the most cooperation I can get, the better.
Right.
So, that's first and foremost that's what we've got to do. We've got to conduct ourselves in an ethical manner.
Right.
We have to be professional. We have to be courteous to everybody. We have to treat everybody, with respect in order to get that respect back.
Right.
And be willing to help everybody.
Right.
So that's also a big deal of it. So, we have to maintain that standard, throughout to be able to get the community involved in a lot of things that we do, and knowing that we're going to get complaints and people are going to complain, and and I get it. That's part of it.
That's naturally because you're dealing with people.
Exactly.
Right.
So, we're going to get the complaints, but we're going to get the attaboys as well.
That's right.
But, we're striving to make our Semmes better.
Right.
We want to be the model police department that people look towards to say they're doing it right.
That's right.
And so we can hold our heads high.
That's right. And I think that what a lot of people may or may not understand about this, one thing that I see as being a business owner in the city of Semmes, in order for economic development to take place, in order for us to grow, in order for even to, for the people that don't like the word grow, in order to even maintain, there has to be a level there of discipline and of order. And one of the things that I think would keep some of the people from moving to Semmes maybe would be a higher crime rate, and I think if we can cut that down through like you're saying, through participation from the citizens, from the community, it could really clean up Semmes and make it a really, really good place to live.
Absolutely. We're all governed by a set of rules no matter what we do in life.
Right.
So everybody has to follow some sort of rules no matter what.
Right.
So, as long as we can do that and do the right thing, a lot of things will change.
Right.
And change for the better. So that's what I'm looking forward to is changing the atmosphere of this and moving Semmes forward in a positive light, and having people look at us, when we have police officers, that we're on a higher ethical level,
right,
than most,
right,
and we have to be,
right.
We have to set the bar, and we want everybody to come meet us at the bar, so to speak. So when we have that community involvement and we can show people what we do and how we do it. And not everybody's going to agree with the way we do things, and we don't agree with everything that we're supposed to do, but we do it anyway because that's what we're sworn to do.
That's right.
But to have the involvement and people really get involved would be a big help for us because we can't do it by ourselves.
That's right. Takes a village to raise a baby. Or
Absolutely.
What's the statement? Something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously we've talked about your background in the police force, the way that you got there, your mission and vision for the city, and I love that. What do you do? Like, so when you're not at work, what do you do to unwind? Like, what's some of the hobbies maybe that you enjoy?
Well, my kids are very active in what they do. My daughter just graduated from MGM, and she'll be attending college. So, her hobbies were dance and, just being involved in a lot of things in school. So it was just really helping them out. My son is a sophomore at MGM. He plays baseball. They're just so involved in everything that they do. So we're, I guess that's one of our hobbies is taking care of them and making sure that they get what they need in order to be good at their hobbies and enjoy what they do. But we also like to go out on a boat and go fishing and things like that. And we go to a river or go to a lake and we unwind and just kind of relax and let the kids ride the inner tube and things like that. So being on the water helps relax.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've had a conversation with a couple buddies lately is I've traveled around different places in the United States, and we are blessed to live on the Gulf Coast. We are blessed to live. We're so close to water. We're so close to like the marsh. We're so close to the Gulf, rivers and lakes. Like we really have like a beautiful place down here to live.
That's right.
That's really cool. So y'all's job is very serious. Y'all serve and protect every day. There's got to be a little bit of humor though that kind of keeps you guys going. Can you share any like funny stories or maybe like tricks or pranks or something like that y'all played on one another?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the job gets very serious and it can really wear on your soul. The things that you see. So we try to keep each other on our toes. We do play pranks on each other occasionally, whether it be putting a car up on blocks. That happened a long time ago. Just different things that we like to, pepper spray in events, things like that, it's a little cruel how we treat each other, but,
it's all in good fun.
It's all it's absolutely in good fun, and the way cops are built with their personalities, you try to one up the next guy,
right?
So so things can get a little out of hand sometimes, but it's all good. It's all in fun. So, and you got to have something to break the monotony.
Yeah.
it's hard to take this job home with you. And after so many years of doing it, you know, you learn how to leave it at the door, so to speak. You know, it's just, there's ways that you got to break the stress and
for sure
and get that stuff out of your mind.
Yeah, and I had to. I'm 32 years old. I've been in so I own A1 McDuffie Sanitation, and I've been in the business pretty much my entire life. And so through it, like with taking ownership of the company, it has been learning how to, just because everything's blown up at work doesn't mean everything has to blow up at home. And like trying to learn how to balance between the two, because of when you're in the position that you're in or owning a company, it's very similar, because of it all is sitting on your shoulders. So when you close your eyes at nighttime, you still have that to deal with. So there's got to be things to break that up, and you've got to learn how to do that.
Right.
Do you read? Do you like to read? Do you listen to audiobooks? Do you listen to podcasts other than the Made in Semmes podcast?
No, not really. I don't have a whole lot of time to listen to a whole lot of stuff, especially nowadays. But yeah, I do read a little bit. Occasionally. John Grisham is probably one of my favorite authors.
Okay.
James Patterson.
Okay.
So
what's one of your favorite books?
I'd have to go way back and say The Firm by John Grisham. It's probably one of my favorite. I read that in college. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I read that in college, and it just really stuck with me.
Yeah.
That was just a really cool book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. So obviously we're getting ready to wrap this thing up. Is there any cool projects or anything coming up in the near future that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, we have a new city hall that should be built by next summer.
Okay.
We also have a public safety building over at Lott Road and McCreary Road that will be a combination of a fire station and police substation, precinct, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully there'll be a lot of visibility for police on that side of Semmes. You know, just the mayor's vision of how he wants to create downtown hub and a lot of things around City Hall, and it's the next few years are going to be really, really nice, and it's moving fast.
Yeah, and it's really exciting.
It is. So the face of Semmes is about to change.
Right.
And all the stuff that I've created for the police department or in the process of creating, I plan to have a big revealing one day to let everybody know what the face of the police department is going to look like.
Right.
You know, the cars, the uniforms, all that stuff.
That's going to be cool.
So I want everybody to be able to see what their police officers are going to look like.
Right.
And so that's going to be a big deal down the road. So
that's cool. Well, what I hope to do one day is, whenever all of this is set up and uniforms are done and the precinct's built and the cop cars are wrapped and all the stuff, I want to take a ride in one of the cop cars in the front, of course, not the back. But maybe do like a follow-up podcast to say, hey, I don't know if you remember, but X amount of time back, we done this, and here we are. Like, we've been able to see it all the way through. I hope to be able to do that one day. So I want to encourage you. Semmes, he just said, the face of Semmes is changing. If you want to be a part, come to the city council meetings. One thing that I can say about this administration that's in today, whether you like them, whether you don't, they've been very transparent. They have been very clear of what the election that they ran on, the mission and vision. And one thing that I've heard you say, as well as the mayor, and it just goes to echo how good of a choice that you were for the position. But you want to be a police department for the people. The mayor wants to be a mayor for the people. And the whole thing is, like, what he wants to see happen is what the people want to see happen. So I'm really excited about all the stuff that's happening and coming up. Thank you again for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. So we're going to close it out real quick. Thank you today for watching the Made in Semmes podcast. If you will, go down and subscribe, check back for more content. We are really excited for all the stuff that's happening in Semmes. Thank you for watching.